Hello gamers and welcome back to, welcome to the game guides, where we're going to be discussing guides that I would use these guides usefully, in a useful way, because they should help you out a lot. And today we're going to be doing Mario vs. Rabbids characters. We're going to be doing the first four. We're going to do half of them, and then the next time we're going to do the other half. Let's get straight into it. So we're going to start with Mario here. So if you're reading it, he has 590 max health points. You can click skill tree over here. His max amount of HP. You can upgrade it throughout the game. He has a good amount of dash damage. You upgrade it. He starts at about 20. You can upgrade it to 130, and he also has an ability. So his first ability is the stomp jump. Well, it's not really an ability, but an action you can do is to stomp jump. You can team jump, and then you can land on an enemy to do damage to them. That can max up to 150. Like, I upgraded it throughout the game. His secondary, so his primary is the blaster, which has bounce. Which like sense of bouncing, which can do damage even out of bounds as well. And he also has honey. Again, that's the wrong button. He also has honey, which makes them able to move, which I would prefer bounce. And he has mid-range, and his cover damage is mostly medium, but you can sometimes get low at the start. And for Mario's secondary, he has the melee hammer, which does bounce and honey again. I would prefer the bounce, because if you're gonna hit them, if you don't kill them, you want them to just be away from you, so it bounces them away. But if honey means they're right next to you. Area of damage can go up to 3 cells. I think is that it? No, but it starts at 2, sorry. And the percentage of the cooldown of it is 1 turn, so you can only use it every other turn. And the range is, well, 1 cell. Back to the skill tree, we have the well, before we get onto that, we actually have some other stuff to show first. We showed the weapons. His pipe exit range can be upgraded. His area of movement can be upgraded only once though, to 7 cells. And now we go on to the techniques. I prefer Hero Sight rather than Empower, but Empower can be useful as well. So let me just check the skill tree. So Empower's cooldown can be reduced to every other turn, and Hero Sight can be reduced to every 2 turns. And so Hero Sight is, so you can use it, and if an enemy moves within Mario's line of sight, he'll shoot them for up to 130% damage. It starts at 70%. You can get up to 100%, and then 130% damage, which is really useful because you can use it, and then on the enemy's turn when they move, they'll take damage. And then for the second technique, we have the Empower. So it increases Mario's weapon damage along with the damage caused by any heroes in range. The cooldown can be reduced to like 1 turn, every other turn. The damage increase can be increased up to 70% damage increase, and the range can be upgraded as well. And it's for Mario, he's like an all-rounder, which is good because you can't have him not on the team. And next up we have Rabbid Peach, who surprisingly is more of a healer with the secondary technique down here. Well, let's just look into the movement first. It doesn't have stomp jump, but she has stylish dash, which lets her dash twice. She can dash up to 4 separate times into enemies. Cleansing jump in much range. Yeah, it's normal. The dash damage can go up to 100, so you can dash into 4 different enemies for 100 damage on each. And here's where it comes into the good part. This is, in my opinion, the best secondary in the game. We have Fire Peach here. We'll start with the primary. She also has the blaster, but she, instead of honey and bounce, she has honey and push, which both have 60% chance. Why do I have weapons that I've not seen yet? Anyway, strange. But yeah, the push definitely better than honey. Honey's kind of the early game because it just lets them not be able to move. But push just like bounce, but they can go for bounce and push. They can go out of bounds for an extra 30 damage. But push like just moves them on the ground, whereas bounce can bounce them over obstacles. And the damage is really good, just like Mario's blaster. And the range mid again. And then the secondary best one in the game, I would say, it's the sentry. You get push and honey on Rabbit Peach's sentry, and what it does is, so look, it has health points, so it can move 8 cells per turn. It has 300 when you deploy it, and it can do push and honey. It's long range 15 cells when you first deploy it, I think. Yeah. And then you have to wait every other turn to use it. It does quite a lot of damage too. And so basically what it does, you send it out, it chases after an enemy, and will not stop chasing until that enemy is dead. If it's dead, it will just stop moving. And it has a blast radius as well. And it can go from anywhere from 6 areas of cells to 7 to 8, which is really useful. And now let's go back into the skill tree. For Rary Peach, moving on from the sentry, which is really good, we have the techniques. So we're going to start with the shield. So what the shield does, it use it for 1 turn, it stays up for that turn. It can be upgraded to do 50% damage blocking, so 100 damage, 50 damage. The shield is not broken either after someone shoots you. And then we have the weapon parry. Oh, sorry, that's body parry. So that'll be like dashing. 100 damage from dash, 50 damage from dash. But here's the weapon parry, so you can upgrade it up to 80% damage blocked off. So 100 damage to 20 damage. Really useful there. And you can upgrade it to be used every other turn. I would use this in a good amount of situations, because it could just help if there's enemies surrounding you. They have a bunch of weapons, or they can dash into you. You put it up, you're safe. And then the other technique has to be one of the best in the game, which is the heal. Basically, what the heal does, has a radius. If your heroes are in that radius, they heal up. They can heal up to 70% of their HP, and it's not just 70% of their current HP. It's 70% of their max HP. So Mario, let's pretend he has a maximum of 100 HP. He's on 10. Now he's on 80 if you use this, and he upgrades to use every 2 turns, which is really useful. And then last but not least, we have the health movement and movement. Light extra range can be quite far, movement quite far, and health can be upgraded to 530, which I really like, to be honest. And next up we have the one, the only, Rabbid Luigi, who has some stuff to talk about. And the first thing we're going to talk about is his Vamp Dash. So Vamp Dash costs 20 orbs, and it allows him to drain enemy health points like dash. And basically what it does, you get up to 2 dashes. So let's say his dash did 40 damage. The vamp plus damage, the vamp dash plus is how much percentage of the health he gets back. So I have upgraded to 100%. What would happen is, so let's say I dash into someone, did 40 damage, I get 40 health back. But if it was 50% vamp dash plus, then I would only get 20 of that health, but it still does the maximum damage. And his health dash damage can be upgraded to 160, which is really useful because he has quite low HP. 500, it's actually quite low. It's actually quite a lot, but still, probably is the second lowest in the game, which can be really useful because you can do 2 dashes. So you get 2 dashes, then you do 160 damage twice, which is 320, and you get 100% vamp healing. So you could go from 10 health to 330 just by dashing into 2 enemies. Not mentioned this yet, but the cleansing jump, really useful. Super effect. If you jump on someone, gone. And then we have the weapons. So Rabbid Luigi's selection of weapons are actually really good because they have a bunch of super effects that you can have. So he can have push, burn. You get at the start of the game on the warp, which, bearing in mind, 30% chance to 50% chance really early, which is really useful. Then you go to 60%, you get vamp and push. Then you get unlock stone. Vamp, we just talked about it, it heals off anything, like, not anything, but burn. Here we go. So it can the fire can spread if one enemy with on fire touches another. It can also burn your heroes, and then they just run around because they're on fire. You can activate like Mario's hero sight, and stone's really good. Stone halts all movement, attacks, and techniques for a combatant. So no attacking, no techniques, no nothing, basically. Really useful there. And then I think there's another super effect that you can get. And near the end of the game, at the end of the game, you'll look these two, which I'm gonna look at the stone one actually. 100% chance. 100% chance for super effect. I don't know what's the point of this, because you always gonna do 230 damage with these. Then his secondary is the rocket, which you can have burn and push. The rocket, I don't know if you would say it's that good, because it's like an area of effect weapon, and you shoot it from afar, and it can do an area effect with area damage 2 cells. It's long range. You can only use it every other turn. The range of damage upgrades up to 4, and the percentage is average 60% down to 50% down to 40% down to 30% for the super effect. And the damage can max up to 218. And we're not getting there yet. That is Luigi, and we're not going on to him yet, but because we have to do Luigi's techniques. So he has the super barrier, which blocks any super effects if they hit him. So you can use it every other turn if you upgrade it. You can make it, or you can also have a side effect of blocking damage and movement, as well as just blocking super effects in general. Like Rare Peach's one, it's really useful. Actually, it's really useful. Nothing else to really say. Really useful for blocking super effects, you know, like certain challenges. Really useful there. And then we have the weaken for Rabbid Luigi. Rabbid Luigi's weaken. It can be upgraded to make. So basically, what it does, it's enemies in the range. Oops. Enemies in the range is the weaken, which can be upgraded to 9 cells. Will do less damage, and it can be up to 70% less damage, and can be used every other turn. So since they can be both be used every other turn, you can be like, if enemies are close by, that would be actually a really tough decision. like enemies close by, maybe use the weaken. Or if you feel like you're gonna get a bunch of super effect, go for the barrier. And like I said earlier, his HP got to 500, his movement can go to 8 cells, and his pipe exit can go up to 5 cells. And that's really it for Rabbid Luigi there. Next up we have Luigi. So we're gonna start with his special technique in the movement, which is the double jump. So he could team jump on 2 heroes at once. And the good part about it is you can upgrade his jumping amount, like how far he can jump, up to 10 like cells, which is how far you move in the actual game. Cleansing jump, again, really useful with dash damage, only up to 90. Actually not really that good. Nothing of note here, but the weapons are where it comes in really good. Luigi has the precision. And basically, it can do ink or bounce. Bounce we already talked about, and ink, they can't do any attack action where requiring a weapon attack, including reaction shots, which is like hero sight. I would prefer the ink, and it's like a really long range weapon with up to 17 cells of area to shoot. Average amount of percentage or chance for the super effect, and a good amount of damage. Secondary again is the sentry. If you're wondering, it's precision. I think I said that. Once again, sentry, really good. I explained about it earlier. It's actually just really good. It can do bounce and ink. I choose bounce, but I might want to choose ink. This is just really cool because it floats. Yeah, I think that's it really for Luigi. Oh, the bounce chance and ink chance is average, really high damage, and use it every other turn. 300 health when you deploy it. I think at the start it's like 150, yeah. And then we move on to the techniques. So Luigi has the Steely Stare and the Itchy Feet. So Steely Stare, just like Hero Sight, but weaker because of the long range. It can only be maxed out to 70% damage from the original, but he can shoot 3 times. I forgot to mention this on Mario's one, but you can actually shoot twice with Hero Sight. Really useful there. You can use it every other turn, and then yeah, it's like really good to use every other turn. Using it, getting 3 shots in, do 70% of Luigi's normal damage, but still you get 3 shots, which is really good. And the Itchy Feet increases how far other heroes in the range can like move. So Luigi can be moving up to 9 cells. You can add up to 3 more, which can be 12 cells of movement at once, and you can increase the range of it, and you can use it every other turn. Really useful when you're like, I don't want to spoil anything, but in the Rabid Kong boss, the first boss of like the main boss, not the mid boss, but the boss at the end of the world, you have to go on these buttons. And maybe you can't reach them. You can use Itchy Feet, for example. And for his health, the lowest in the game. You know how I said Rabbid Luigi's second lowest? Yeah, he's got 500 maxed. Luigi, when maxed, only 335. But pipe exit range is the highest as well. And out of all these 4, I would probably choose a selection of the team as Luigi and Rabbid Luigi. Rabbid is, so let me just do a quick like summary of them. Mario is just like your mid character. He has mid range. He's got a good secondary weapon for close up damage and high damage. And his primary weapon is blaster, just normal. And he's more of like the I won't say he's more of the booster, but he can boost. He's more of like just straight damage. He can have stomp jump and dash in the same turn. Both of his things do something to do with damage. His techniques to have both something to do with damage, and yeah. So Mario's just full on damage. Then you have Rabbid Peach, who is like the healer, but also has like dash damage and a great secondary. Rabbid Peach is really defensive, so she has a shield for her primary technique and then the heal for her secondary. So very defensive character, but can do some serious damage if she needs to. And then you have Rabbid Luigi, who is what to describe. He's like, he can stand back, use the rocket to shoot from afar, or close up and use that super barrier to block super effect, or use that weaken to weaken the enemies. And he can have Vamp Dash, which is really useful because Vamp also stays for other characters. So say I shot someone with, I dashed into Smasher, 200 health, do 160 damage, get 160 health back. But if Luigi shot him for 50 damage, Luigi also gets 50 health back, which is really useful. Primary weapon's really good, up to 100% super chance. He's just more of like more defensive, but also has really good way to heal. That's not just an ability. And his Alpha's techniques, I'll use the super barrier a bit more. Really good there. Luigi is more just sniper. Luigi, sniper, literally, he has the longest weapon range in the game. He has the lowest health in the game, so you know he's. Look, it says here, master of long range attacks due to his familiarity with nozzle-based weaponry. Luigi has bravely led many fighting retreats thanks to his advanced mobility. So he can move the furthest in the game. I know it's not what I have currently, but he can move up to 9 cells just like Rabbid Yoshi over here. First movement in the game, furthest pipe exit range, I believe. Quite with Rabbid Mario. He's supposed to be staying back, and if he needs to go forward, he needs to, because his rapids are both long range, sniping from afar, and the sentry can just walk up to them and get them, and it also acts as a target, the sentry. And if he needs to go close up, he has that double jump, 10 cells for each one. The Steely Stare technique, really useful, just hiding behind a block from afar, and they try to come closer to you. Shoot them down. You get 3 shots with that. And for Itchy Feet, well, it can make you move further. And I feel like that is going to be the end of the first episode of the game guide. Remember, if you enjoy this guide, do not forget to like and subscribe. And goodbye, gamers. Signing out. No, not signing out. That sounds rubbish. Goodbye, gamers, and so long.